The 2008 Sundance Film Festival has come to a close, and in the next half hour, we'll bring you the highlights.
Where are we? I know we're just outside of Park City. I'll be right with you when I find out where we are.
The winners.
You've got an impeccable taste.
And feature the films you won't want to miss this year.
Even if it seems 5 minutes too long, remember it took 11 years to do.
It's the Best of the Fest 2008. Welcome to Best of the Fest. I'm Faith Saley, and we're here in the Lexus Hybrid Living Lounge as Sundance 2008 comes to a close. And joining me is the director of the Sundance Festival, Jeffrey Gilmore. Welcome, Jeffrey.
Glad to be here.
So people who don't understand what it means to be the director of the Sundance Film Festival, tell them what that means.
Well, a lot of people ask me if I've seen the films, and I always find that an odd comment because the films are here because I have seen them. I don't see all the shorts, but I do see all the features. Is
it also accepting a lot of gratitude? Do people come up to you, if they know the buck stops with you, do they come up to you and say, thank you, Jeffrey Gilmore?
Sometimes. I also get complaints.
Like what?
Oh, the range. You know, whether it's tech or whether it's, you know, I can't get in here, I hate this festival, you know, it's too crowded.
You're like a wedding planner.
It's, you know, look at this Main Street, what have you done to the, you know, all of the traffic sucks, what can you do to fix that? What about the snow, can you stop it? You know, it's like, sure, I'll stop it right now, you know, what can I do? I mean, yeah, I wish I was a wedding planner. There's a guy named Jeffrey Gilmore that's a very famous wedding planner in Seattle, believe it or not.
Right?
Absolutely. I Googled myself once, and I got another Jeffrey Gilmore who's a wedding planner in Seattle, so it's not too far from the truth.
So what happens for you after the festival ends?
I decompress.
Is it fair to say that what makes a Sundance successful is that movies are bought?
You might say there are 4 ways in which films get responded to. From audiences, from critics, from buyers, and from juries. And those 4 ways in which those films get responded to are 4 different ways in which visibility happens.
When a film gets a wildly receptive reaction from an audience, does that mean it will probably get bought?
Not necessarily. Films can play sometimes terrifically well, but that doesn't mean they're easy to market. And so you might say that the problem that a distributor has is trying to bring those 2 aspects together.
Talk to me about what was bought.
I think we're over 10 now in terms of this week, which is a little bit lower than what we've had at some points. If we sell 15, 20 films out of a festival any given year, what we consider a successful year, you know, the big sale of the fest was an add-on to the festival, a film called Hamlet 2.
We will all remember this moment for the rest of our lives. It was dramatic. It was visual.
It was stupid.
It was stupid, but it was also theater.
And you know, smaller films like Frozen River went to Sony Classics.
What are you doing with my car?
I found it.
You stole it?
Had the keys in it.
So you just took it?
What other films have sold this week?
The list of work includes Choke.
Wow, she was really.
Hey, what the Dude, that's my mom.
I'm sorry, dude.
Henry Poole.
I was wondering, and I know it might seem a little unfair, seeing as how you know my situation, but I thought that maybe if you were able to get a sitter and you had the time. Really? Oh, wait.
What?
Can I ask you?
Well, you did. Just ask me, didn't you?
Roman Polanski.
It was awful. Everybody knew at school. And people came to school with cameras and things were being said and printed.
Do you ever sort of predict what will sell before the festival starts?
I'm fairly clairvoyant about this, actually.
Really?
I think I'm pretty good at it. This year I was probably less clairvoyant than any year in my 19 years. In at least the last half dozen years, almost every single year things don't sell at the beginning of the festival because people are waiting to see what is actually available in the first 5 days. And so they don't necessarily jump, they wait. And they say, you know what, I'm interested in this film, but I want to see what that film is that's going to play on Monday. So let's wait for that. And they did that again this year.
That makes sense.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
Maybe this is like asking a father who his favorite child is, but what was your favorite film? What touched you most?
I never have a favorite film.
Never, ever?
No.
You're just saying that, or really, truly?
I really don't. I announced a favorite film on stage once this week. I told people I'm not supposed to have favorites, but I have a favorite with this film. I talked about a film that I really like. It's called The Visitor. It's a beautiful film.
sorry. I'm sorry.
You stay away from me. You leave me alone.
No, it's okay.
My boyfriend is coming.
I'm not going to hurt you.
Who are you? What are you doing here?
This is my apartment.
Talk to me about some of those most global films, especially
a lot of great global stuff. It's films that I think speak to issues that range from, you know, a Japanese photographer in Mongolia,
What's
you know,
that film?
a film called Puji, you know, chronicling the story of a little girl and her mother. The poignancy of that film just, I mean, it grabs your heart. It's amazing.
What film made you cry?
Oh, God, there's a lot of them. You know, American Son made me cry.
Why?
Such a touching film. It's a beautiful film.
What's it about?
About going home and about maybe never being able to go home.
Whatever you're doing, where you think it's going to take you?
I know where the Marine Corps is taking you, don't I? What'd you think? Shaky Jake's just going to mow lawns till the day he dies? That.
Choose your weapon, Private. Jake, man. This is like 4 tickets to Pelican Bay.
Well, it's better to die on your feet than live on your knees.
What made you laugh out loud?
A lot of things. You know, I loved our opening night in Bruges. Cracked me up.
This morning and this afternoon, we are doing what I want to do. Got it?
Of course. Which I presume will involve culture.
Well, we shall strike a balance between culture and fun.
Documentaries, I mean, I mentioned Puji, but I could also talk about Traces of the Trade, which is a woman investigating her family. It may seem an odd film from some people's perspective for me to have an emotional reaction to, but I was so impressed by her personal commitment to exploring her family's, in some ways her familial guilt. You know, here's the largest slave-owning family involved in the slave trade in the United States. It's where the family's wealth was established. And her exploration of that, it touched me deeply.
What I'm hoping that you have been hearing is every single black person that's talked to us has said exactly that. You white people need to talk to white people.
Probably the most significant occurrence of this festival is that the level of talent in this festival is incredibly high. The directorial talent, the acting talent, the writing talent. This will be one of those years that we'll look back upon and we'll say, wow, that must have been an incredible year. Look at these filmmakers, this guy, this woman, this person. Look at those films. It must have been great. How did they emerge? There's so much talent at this year's festival. It's going to resonate.
Jeffrey Gilmore, thank you so much for taking time to talk to us, and I truly hope you can decompress.
I will.
Coming up, Director of Programming John Cooper joins us, and we'll talk about the award winners and competition.
Damn, this is a good day to be black and sexy.
And later, it's highlights from our 10 days of festival coverage. I'm very tired. I just arrived. Actually, I know they'll be mad if I put my boots on the couch. When Best of the Fest continues.